Hi everyone, Shae here. I'm one of the naturopaths at the Lucy Rose Clinic, and this week's Facebook Live topic is tax time tension, simple stress busters for your busiest season. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a regular, welcome back. So here I am, reporting from the Scottish School of Herbal Medicine on the Isle of Arran, and we're inside today because Scotland has a tendency to rain an awful lot, and that's okay. So, let's talk about something that creeps up every year like clockwork, the tax time tension. If you're feeling wired, tired, foggy-brained at the end of financial year, you're ready to combust just thinking about spreadsheets, deadlines, receipts, logging it all. When am I going to have time to do it? When is all the information going to be ready? You're not alone. So, this session is tax time tension, simple stress busters. I'll be guiding you through some practical tips that you can start using today. So, no complicated regimes, no woo-woo, just real tools to help your body and brain feel supported during this crunch period so you can stay clear, calm, and collected, and maybe even sleep through the night. Imagine that. Isn't that a wonderful, glorious event? And you know too, even if tax time is not the busiest of times in your industry, you're definitely going to be able to walk away and apply this information to your own life, regardless of your situation. So let's start with what's happening in your body when you're stressed. A lot of the time, because it's cumulative, we're not even aware of how much tension we're carrying. Our shoulders are up around our ears, we're clenching our jaw, you're skipping meals, you're reaching for sugar, caffeine, fatty snacks for energy, whatever you need to get through the day, right? You'll always grab whatever you need in the moment to get you through, right? Sound familiar? So this kind of chronic low-level stress triggers the sympathetic nervous system. So this is the fight or flight response. And your body begins prioritizing stress hormone production. Because remember, the stress hormones, so that's cortisol and adrenaline, they're our survival hormones. So if our body is in survival mode because it thinks that, we're in danger, it's going to prioritize all of our body resources to making those stress hormones. All right. And that's fine. Short term, right? That's fantastic. They work really well. They do the job well. It's not so great when you're living on them for 6 weeks straight. It throws off your digestion, your sleep cycle, your immune function, and your emotional regulation. Oops, sorry. Your mood tanks. You snap at people. You can't concentrate. You cry easily, perhaps, and your body starts burning through key nutrients faster than it can replenish them. So what can we do to reduce the impact? Here are some strategies that you might find really helpful. When you're under stress, right, your blood sugar regulates more wildly. So starting your day with a protein-rich meal, so eggs, of course, protein smoothie, chia pudding, tofu scramble, dinner leftovers. Who says you can't have roast chicken for breakfast? Protein really helps to stabilize your energy and reduce mood crashes later on in the day. And you want to try and eat between 30 to 60 minutes of waking. So there's quite a pool of evidence that shows eating within that time frame upon waking really helps to regulate your cortisol, which is especially good if your adrenals are under the pump. Yeah. Magnesium, often called nature's tranquilizer, and for good reason. It supports the nervous system, eases muscular tension, and even helps with sleep. We use so much magnesium. Magnesium is used in pretty much every bodily function. So foods like pumpkin seeds, lots of dark leafy greens, cacao, delicious. So if you're reaching for chocolate, make sure it's at 85%. Or you can consider a magnesium supplement. Speak to a practitioner about that. If you've got a bath at home, a nice warm Epsom salt bath a few times a week really helps with sleep regulation. If you don't have a bath, then I suggest looking into a float facility near you. There's a lot of really great ones popping up around Australia. Those on the eastern in the eastern states, City Cave's great, but I've also found a lot of really good. There's a lot of facilities everywhere. Have a look. Magnesium floats, absolutely delicious. Breath reset. All right, so we talked a couple of weeks back about mindful breathing, conscious breathing. So doing, you can do the 4-7-8 method. I quite like box breathing, which is inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. 4-7-8 is 4-second inhale, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Do it sitting down or lying in case you get lightheaded. But 3 rounds of this breath work can help lower your heart rate, settle your vagus nerve, and stop the panic spiral in its tracks, right? So use it before starting work and use it before bed, and take regular mindful breath breaks during the day. That deep belly breathing is so important. There's a lot of really great like herbs that you can use as well to support adrenal function and help you adapt to prolonged stress. They're called adaptogens. They're not instant fixes, but over time they support your resilience to stress. But always speak to a practitioner to make sure these herbs are right for you. There's a lot of people out there taking things like ashwagandha or rhodiola, and they might not, they're not the best fit for the individual. Herbal medicine is individualized. It is best to speak to a specialist. But yeah, there are a lot of great things out there, and maybe taking some extra B vitamins can help too. The other thing is to try and limit the stress stack. So we do this thing where we wake up tired, so we have coffee, and then we're tired in the day, so we have more coffee or energy drinks, which spike cortisol, increase anxiety, interfere with sleep. And then when we get home, we're so hopped up on adrenaline, cortisol, and caffeine, we can't sleep. So then we have, a glass of wine. And that then impacts the quality of our sleep. And then we wake up the next day and it all starts again. So try and swap 1 coffee a day for something caffeine-free. There's a lot of really great caffeine teas out there. A little bit of good dark quality chocolate in the afternoon can give you a pickup without the crash. Ginger tea is great. There's lots of, just experiment. And then, before bed, I think it's really lovely to have a warm tea. Something like chamomile or passion flower can really help signal to your body that it's time to go to bed. And how good your day is depends on how good your rest was the night before, right? So micro rest, micro gains. This is another one. I quite like this. And you see this in, I notice this a lot in countries where commuting is really common. You'll see people on their trains on the way home at the end of the day. They won't be attached to their screens. They will just be having quiet time. Like, use the time that you have. But micro rest. So little moments of the day where you disengage. So lying on the floor for 5 minutes with your legs up a wall. That's a really great one. If you can, standing outside in some grass, barefoot, with your morning coffee. Bonus if there's sun. If you need to keep your shoes on, the sun or the fresh air or just being outside helps. Doing 10 minutes of stretching. You can do that when dinner's cooking. Screen-free lunch breaks. Even or commuting, like I was saying before, staying off your phone or staying off your device, giving your eyes a rest from screen light in your commute home. It really gives your nervous system a rest, a break. And these tiny little things tell the brain it's safe, it's okay to slow down. And, as we discussed last week, stress affects gut health and vice versa. So if you're bloated, constipated on a regular basis, catching every cold that goes around, your stress levels can be a root cause. So lots of fermented foods. Talk to your practitioner about a broad spectrum probiotic. Bone broth is nice. Gut herbs like slippery elm, licorice root, Peach leaf tea is a good one too. Licorice root's great in the afternoon too, because it's sweet. So when you get that sweet craving, that can be quite a nice one to have. Because always remember that a happy gut is a calmer mind. So to recap, tax time doesn't have to take you down. Stress doesn't have to take you down. With a few intentional shifts, breath work, nutrient support, tiny micro rests, you can support your brain and your body to perform better without burning out. You don't need to be a monk or a wellness warrior or, just a few small sustainable actions repeated constantly does make all the difference. For most of us, we can't take the stress out of our lives, but we can change and adapt our body's response to stress by doing these small things to support. And if you're already feeling in the weeds about it, if it's already feeling overwhelming, it's never too late to begin again. You never have to start everything all at once. Just start with small things. One thing. Tomorrow, if you have 2 coffees, have one. Have something else. Try something new. Make it an adventure, if you like. A little micro adventure. So thank you so much for joining me today. If this resonates with you, do feel free to drop a comment, share your favorite stress busters, tag a friend. If you want to learn more about what we do here at the Lucy Rose Clinic, you've got that QR code there. You can scan that and book in for a complimentary 15-minute consult. Find out more about who we are and what we do. Until next time, breathe deeply, eat well, look after your nervous system, be kind to yourself. You deserve